Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bottomland Saturday edition. I have with me today the great Honorable Linford Guer. Linford, how you doing?
Well, Paul, I'm fine, and I think I'm okay. And what about you?
Well, I'm very good, and thank God it's Saturday today, and here it's been interesting. So, what we will do here, we can play some music while we're sharing a link for the time being before the. So I will start with the most famous Takunje music, and then we stop sharing the show to get because this is a new platform for a lot of people to get to know this platform. So
Right.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not come. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. No one to trust, my people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, bro. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the ball. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed and not unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bottomland. This is our Saturday edition. I have with me today the almost seven, Mr. Linford Gwen in Norway. Well, Linford, how are you? How's this Saturday?
Well, the Saturday is normal. We're moving about our businesses and everything is okay. We just are gearing up for um, the winter. But amazingly, we had a couple of days ago there was snow, but today yesterday and today we've been having some sunshine. So that snow is melting. But normally this is how it happens here in Norway. One morning you wake up, especially in the beginning of the winter. One morning you wake up and there is snow everywhere, and then it becomes cold. Then all of a sudden it starts getting hot, and then the snow will go. We'll be doing that off and on until the real one will come one day. So everything is okay.
Well, that's funny because today we have like 14 degrees here. It's been raining the past days, and the weather was very hot today. So in November, do you believe in the climate change that people talk about? Is that climate change that causing this problem now having kind of nice weather in January? I mean in November.
Well, I think to some extent, one can be made or tempted to believe that. Not that I'm doubting it, but the thing here is that, um, uh, the people the scientists who are studying the weather, okay, they have advanced equipment and they know exactly how to forecast several years before. And so they know that these things are happening. So it's not a matter of whether I believe it or not. I know that there is climate change, and so it is happening. But and my example could also come from the people of Norway. They have this history that this land was once covered up by snow during the ice age, and so the ice melted, and that's why we have all of the mountains here. And definitely for some areas in this country, if you go, you see it's like the land was together, right? And the water came, and clear between, as the water was going, it was taking along with it the earth. And so you can see that one rock on the side, another rock on the side, and if you bring them back together, it will form a landmass. So I believe that if the ice can melt from the ice age until now, and we have the body of water. So yeah, the global warming, I think is for real.
Right. So to our viewers, for the first time, because the bottom line have changed, we want to play something while you help us to share the program. We have a very interesting topic today. We'll be looking at the situation with the sensor ledges, and also Mr. Cummings' visit to Nima County that is kind of making headway. And we're going to look at other issues that are confronting about people. Civil servants now start demonstrating in Liberia. If you look at people from Ministry of Information, a few days ago, there were so few things we can talk about. So let's play some music while we share this show. And the soup student also came up with a new music, and so we can listen to this while we're sharing. So Linford, that's the new music from the SUP student on the campus of the University of Liberia. And they released that yesterday. So I just so anyway, to our viewers, can you share?
Yeah, in student politics.
Yeah, go on.
In student politics in Liberia, we always have interesting things happening. Today's leaders, most of today's leaders, like the likes of Samuel Tuer, the Louis Brown, most of the people today acting on the political landscape, they all passed through there. They did it. We saw things were growing up. So we always expect a lot to happen. But upon today, if my memory serves me well, today, November 12th, marks a very special event. That was, I think, the Cuban invasion was today, November 12th.
Yeah, it was November 12th. That was November 12th. It was,
yeah, 1985. And so if we go back 1985 to now to 2022, that's been like 85, 95, 205, 95, 205, 2015 to 2022. That's close to 40 years. It's 32 years now. 32 years. Yeah, and 32 or 32, one of them. And people tend to forget these things, and I haven't, on the whole internet today, I haven't seen anybody write anything about it. And so, yeah, we just want to remember those that lost their souls those days during this event that we're talking about. Just to remember them. Sadly, these are some of the things that happened that led to what we found out, as a country, that we've been fighting to recover, and yet we have not recovered fully. We stay on the road to.
Yeah, I can see. I can see. Yeah. I mean, that's true. Today, November 12th, it marked a serious day in Liberia. So that was the beginning of some of this trouble that we'll have to go through for the 14 years of civil war. Although it started from 1979, Rest Riot, and then it started growing. Though came to power, coups upon counter coups. And then remember also for Zamiton, there were a lot of things that are happening during that period of time. So yeah, but this day was the day that a lot of people were killed. People took to the street, were jubilating, and they didn't know that those have come back. And some people got caught up in this. So I think, may our brothers and sisters also rest in peace. So these are the kind of thing we're supposed to have in Liberia, have a memorial day for all of these people that have died. in the cause of better Liberia, though. So that's what I think. So yeah. But anyway, we're going to today to our viewer. We just created a new platform. We had issue with the old one. So if you can kind of share the link to your page that people follow, because a lot of people know about this. They haven't been aware of the new platform. So kind of share this. So therefore, what are we talking about today? You muted. If you can hear me, you muted, or your internet is giving problem.
Yeah, my internet is very bad tonight. It's tripping. I've tried every way possible. I don't know. But like you said, we'll be talking about Mr. Cummins's visit to Nima County. I think currently he's in Nima County. And so, yeah, 37 years ago, thank you, Mr. Oliver Chia. And so, Mr. Cummins is in Nima County as we speak. Paul, do you hear me? Am I clear?
Yeah, very loud and clear. You are loud and clear. Yeah. You can be in the Western world and have internet problem.
Yeah, I don't know. No, not the problem is not the speed of the internet, nothing. I think it's just because when the weather is getting bad, that's what can happen.
Right.
It's been very windy here since yesterday, up to the night this morning, and everything was very windy. So there can be some little some switch along the line somewhere, and I didn't notice it in the day because I was at work. So if I notice it, it's just to call the guys and they can trace it. But I think it's going to be good somewhere along the line. And so let's I think start with
Mr. Cummins visit to Nima, and then I want to also look at the road medicine. He claimed to be the road medicine. Our Excellency President Dr. George Manawia, that he was going to build this coastal highway from Grand Bassa County straight to Maryland. And then he was going to do the Bali Island. He also going to do a flyover where they have the ministerial complex in Congotown. So he has been there 5 years now. So the coastal highway have started. He started building it, and at the point of completion. So those that have come from the southeast, they need to be aware that pretty soon when they travel to Liberia, they will have 8 lanes going from Monrovia to the south here and 8 lanes coming back, almost like you own 95 in America, and in the UK here you own the M25. In Europe you'll be on the E40 or something. So that's the kind of, so I just want you to look at this and tell me, Linford, this borrowed medicine, the thing he have done to Liberia, since because the promise you made to people, they put it in. So what you take of the new super highway that is running through Liberia, I just want you guys to look at this. See, that is the super highway. This is going to the southeast, and this is the super highway meant to be.
The good thing is, Paul, you come from the southeast, so I would say kudos to you.
So I mean, I'm telling you, this is the super highway that was promised to the people because that was the idea from Grand Bassa County straight to Maryland, super highway. 5 years gone, and the super highway, the construction completed with election time. Look at how beautiful is this road leading to the southeast. I just wanted for you to have a take on that. What do you think? And look, people are traveling. Those are vehicles. Those are the 4 lanes.
Yeah, I will tell you one. I will tell you one thing. Political promises are made. I mean, all over the world we know if aspirants go to the electorates, they have to tell them something to encourage them to vote for them. But I think it should be, those promises should lie within the power of the economic strength of the government as a whole, whether the past government or the present government that is taking over. you can't make promises to the citizens and think that it's going to be automatic and think it's going to be like, some magic coming from heaven to come down. No, you have to make your promises. And if I were any political aspirant, I don't think, even if I were going to make promises, my promises would be something very less, something that I know even myself can do for the people before I depend on central government. That if the government cannot afford, then I will put in my own resources. So to come and say you're going to, Liberia is not a country that was just formed yesterday or in 2017. Liberia has been there since 1847, since we had independence. And you see some of these problems, they are very gigantic, like road construction across the country, and giving the people the basic needed infrastructure. You can't just think you can solve it overnight and make the people to believe that, yes, I can do this simply because you wanted to vote for you. What happens if you don't do it? Or what's wrong, especially like you, Joshua, that the people actually elected because they love you, because they say, oh, we just like a man. You didn't even have to make promises. Like you said in one of your talks, not a speech, that you didn't do anything for the people and they voted for you. So you didn't even you did not need to make promises at that time. Just tell people you're electing because you're electing. Then when you are elected, you can now do what you're able to do. But you say you're going to build a coastal highway.
The thing is, when you are being given a higher seat without any policy that you're going to transform the country, so you come and talk loosely to the people that, oh, I will do this, I'll do this. Remember when he went to Nigeria, he came by, he said, I'll bring 7,000 Nigerian teachers. 6,000, right? Yeah. So those 6,000 teachers yet to come. Now, this Bali Island, the Indian community wanted to do something, they ran with it. And I could remember he being in the swimming vest and all that they were patronists, they were going to be. But now this super highway that was never planned. And he came up one day, said, we'll build a super highway, and the whole country went wild. So I remember in the old days, we never had, when we were kids going to school, because we used to finish school those days in December to go help our people in a rural area. Mm-hmm. There were never, in December, you couldn't have found things like that those days. So what happened? They had all of those, a public warehouse depot all over the place. And those depot had yellow machine to grate the road. So it was smooth at all times, people could move about. So this super highway that is being built, and I just want you to look at how super is this highway. This is the 21st century Liberia. Now, one person will sit down and build mansions upon mansions and look at the superhighway. So if they invest the money that they're using to build thousands of mansions, right? This is not paved road, it's just to greater. It means some of those mansions they can't get 4 or 5 yellow machine to continue greater the road until one day when it stop total stealing, then it focus on putting some kind of better roads to the southeast. I mean, it's
just for me, even the whole idea about building this coastal highway, people, lawmakers, and all other people promising to build roads all over Liberia. Now, I ask myself the question: you don't build roads because you think you want to. When you build a road, ask yourself, who's going to apply the roads? The purchasing power in Liberia? How many people can afford a car? Now, even we in Europe, if you send one old car to free it from the free port, it will take years. It will take millions. And so people get discouraged from sending cars. So you got very few people who can afford to even pay keke, let alone to own car or to own a keke. Then you want to build modern road according to you. Ask yourself, what is the benefit? What is the economic benefit? I think, let me tell you, Paul, the place where our people, our leaders are making mistake, and I hope the current batch of aspirants will not repeat similar mistakes, is that they are not identify our priorities as a country. Let me tell you, Paul, we get 3 things in Liberia that we really need. Those are our needs. Without them, we will not make it. You see, the first one, you see, healthcare. Because healthcare, let me name them: healthcare, food, and education. Those 3 things, I believe they are the very basic needs that Liberia have now. Now, if you ask me, I can break it down. You know, you can be educated. Let Mr. Cummings always say, if you are not healthy, it's 0. Okay, your God can be full, agriculture now. Your God can be full. If you are not educated, yeah, you'll just be one guy living in Chiro who goes on the farm, eats, goes to try a golf, he come home. Even if he listens to the radio, he doesn't know what the radio is saying. He know nothing. He's just waiting for tomorrow. In fact, when he land now, he's thinking about a trap that he set today. Well, we'll catch tomorrow. Now he's thinking about some money is gone. So he's totally out. Okay. Then you can have education, you can have agriculture. If you don't have good health, it's 0. And you can have good health if you don't have, in fact, you cannot have good health without education, because the doctors will have to be educated. So there are 3 or 4 things that are very, very important. They're good health for me. That's the first thing. Because Liberia being a kind of country, we are a traditional country. Okay. So once our people are healthy, the other household will do on their own. So they'll be able to go to school. So when I was between 2nd to 5th grade, because I remember I got double promotion somewhere in between there, I think between 3rd and 4th grade. I worked for 3 years, Paul. I walked about, if I'm not mistaken, 23 kilometers every day one way. I live with my grandparents that didn't know ABC. But my grandfather always made sure that he would buy a Tommy Caribo and 1 pencil, and then he would look for plastic and wrap that Caribo inside. That even if rain beat me, my Caribo should not get wet.
I mean, you want to describe that Tommy Caribo to some of us in our viewer, because some of us.
And that Tommy Caribo was ordinary writing Caribo.
Okay.
Unless it was a guy with a funny line. No, it was straight lines. Right. And the lines were spatial enough, and the sheets were very good, thick. That even no matter, unless you really sharpen your pencil and press hard, then you will bow it. But you could write on it without boring that particular sheet you're writing on to get to the next one. And the sheets were, like I said, the sheets were very good. And I don't know, but I think, let me put it this way, maybe 20 sheets, because there was a middle part of it. You write, then when you reach the middle, then you're on the second session now. And guess what? Yeah, and I taught me how his picture with Tommy Star, okay, without the glasses. Then they had a Liberian flag, I think, on both the seal and the flag on the other side. Out of the seal or under him was I remember the seal and the flag. Then at the back of that, then his name was there, William V.S. Todman. Then at the back of that copy book, I was just a grade student, the first, second, third grade now. So again, yeah, we talking about way in 1971, 72.
My man, the thing is, you have good memory. You have good memory on some of the things. So
yeah. Then let me finish the pipe part. At the front part, the pipe part go there. They had a one turntable, the turntable from 1 time all the way. In fact, I don't think they had 1 time. It was starting on 2 time, or maybe let me just say 1 time. From 1 time to 12 time. So 1 time, 1, 2 time, I mean 1 time, 1 time, 2, yeah, all the way.
Don't take out the kindergarten school here.
the one that should be hard for me, that 7 times, give me hard time until I'll draw 1 7 times, go wait to 12 times. See? And then they also had the days of the week, the months of the year, then 366 days, make 1 year, 65 days on leave year, and all this kind of thing. So, I mean, life was good. And the point I'm trying to make was those days, our people, if you have good health, you're able to go the rest of the hustle, you can make it. But ask yourself, you got a bunch of money, then you get sick. Why do our people travel to Guinea or Ghana Ivory Coast, Nigeria, other places to go because we don't have good health. So if you have money and you don't have good health, it's zero. You might need that money and die. So we need health care, very good one. We need education so that we can continue replenishing what we have or developing upon what we have. You see, people like Albert Einstein, who taught him, Galileo, all these great guys that discover, okay, who taught them? Nobody. They were gifted, and what they introduced to us is what we bury on today: physics. True physics, we must able to talk to each other today. See, so we need these things. But somebody talking about road. Yeah, you get road. Yeah. So tell me, what Mr. Collins is in. He went to my neighboring town, which I also consider my town, Zamboi, to sympathize with these people. And I will tell you how road entered that place. Okay, there was one great leader that was from there, traditional man. He go to school, he know ABC, but I made her push. He had contact with the people in Lanco, the white people in Lanco. That man used to go and talk to the white people, and they bring that yellow machine to grade. The man was called Jimmy Dan. He died in the United States. I think his body was brought to like, bro, if I'm not mistaken, 1997, 98. Okay, that man, he was able to connect roads there. And after the roads were built, the man, I think he left. He went to America. What happened to those roads? You can only see him up in track on that road. That's the point I'm trying to make. That you can have all these roads. Once you don't have car to go, no, you can't make it.
But Linford, the thing here you're talking, it have some sort of economic effect too on the country though. So roads are very important. Although
I agree. I agree.
But the point I was trying to make here is, if you come to power without any agenda, and you just make loose promises to the people, and in the end, if you can't deliver, and then you go around doing say those feeder roads that around the capital, you put something on it, and then you come back to say, I'm the road medicine. But to our viewer, our topic here, we're just discussing the road issue in Liberia, and then we'll go to other topic. But this borderline page is a new page. If you could kindly share our page, it would be good. And this is what we're talking about, just to let you all know. We're talking about roads and give example. Mr. Weah promised to build a super highway from Grand Bassa County as far as Maryland. Now, this is the 5th year now. The superhighway, this is how the new superhighway look to go to Maryland. So this is what we were discussing about the road medicine he claimed to be. So Linford, what I wanted to say is that Rwanda, our privilege here to meet the health minister for Rwanda as a female during the Ebola. She came to London and we're working on the Ebola. We're trying to raise funds for Ebola to send medicine to Liberia. And Boris Johnson at the time, he was the city mayor of London, were working along Boris. And this woman, when she came, she said, look, Rwanda was built on 2 things: health and education. So that focus was on the 2 things, health and education. When the people are healthy, the educated, development takes place. Right. And that's what she said. If the people are healthy and educated, the country will develop. So why is it that Liberia cannot focus on the 2 things like what Rwanda did? If the people are educated, the healthy, that country will take care of itself. But we get these jacks that comes and lie to people, say, oh, they bidding breaches, your poor day, your meaning representative, senator. At the end of the day, they come and bid those mansions and things, steal people money. That's not the kind of people that's ought to be voting them out. You see?
No. Sometimes a little have a different look.
Yeah, but let me finish. It pains me at times. When I was small, right? Popular will have yellow machine in all of those counties. The road were clear. We could go on vacation during December to go help our grandparents to brush. But why is it in the 21st century? It's not there. This is what annoys me. And then you coming from the southeast, the thing that's all to take you place that will take you like 6 hours, it takes you 3 days to get to Monrovia. And this is the kind of development Liberia want.
Yeah, but if you talk about the voters, or no, not the voters, but the politicians.
The
For me,
liars.
a little bit fair sometimes.
Oh, but they are
Because the thing
liars.
is, yeah, they are liars. I agree. Just that I come to you, I say, Paul, my man, I need some money. Credit me so amount. I'll pay you tomorrow with interest or next week. You give me the money, I run away, I go. You don't see me until the next time I'm broke again. And I know you finish taking pay that account. Say, my man, the money you gave me the last time, we'll have no pay you, man. But this time, in fact, double A. This time I'll pay you good interest. Then you give me a. We continue for 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and you continue to give it. Who you blame? If I don't pay you, you blame me or you blame yourself. Now, the point I'm making is that these politicians, they already learn how the voters can react, what the voters know, what they want. You see? So they will come to them and tell them what they want to hear. Now, you see, Mr. Cummings, you see why Mr. Cummings is kind of like funny, too difficult to navigate at some point. And our own Liberian people say nobody knows the man because he's not speaking the normal political language in Liberia. He's talking about change. And our people are not used to that change language. They want something in their pocket right away.
So what's the political language? Because is that the political to allow the people?
Yeah, the political language is when Joseph Newman Bwaka will say he will build all of the roads, connect all of the roads in the entire country in 90 days, 3 months time. We don't have yellow machine all over the place. We don't even have the engineers to cover the entire country at the same time. So those are the things people let to hear. Yeah, the Omega experience. The Omega says he will connect the entire. So here is a Cummings who comes and says, no, listen, the way people have been lying to you and they come to enrich themselves. We need somebody who would equally make the economy to work for you and me and for everybody and for your grandchildren. I'll put nothing about our own grandchildren. Trust me, my grandparents they know about their grandchildren, okay? Because they know they don't have that plan. So then bring up Waka, I will tell people, say, oh yeah, I will build all the road in 3 months. They say, yeah, the woman are correct. You see it? So this is what our people don't know, that these people who lie to them are not in their interest, because nobody. I live in Norway. Norway got some of the best road contractors in this country. Nobody build road. In fact, mostly they start building the road, they start breaking the grounds in the winter. I mean, from the start of the winter right now, they'll break the ground, they'll be working one place, so I can get mad with him. But don't mind, they're working. They will be standing to that one small piece of place, they're working there. They lay in there they observe it for 1 week, then they put some other small crush rock, they observe it, then they put a lot of people on it. So, so nobody, even I'm not even sure that the engineers in heaven can build the whole country in 3 months. No, but this is what our people like to hear.
So the political language to allow to the people and get them on your side.
To fool them.
You fool the people, and then that's why we keep.
Again, let me go to the voters side too. The voters know that when the people can lie to them and then they vote for them, they will turn their backs on them and go for 6 years. If he's a president, for senator for 9 years, they'll turn their back and go. And then after 9 years, they can't again. So the voters too, they say, okay, wait. Everybody playing trick when they're friend. The voters too say, wait, when the people can, no, we will vote for them, let them give us something. So you tell and say, I'll bring heaven down for you, but yeah, 5 big already, then they take it. Because they know you're not coming by, and I have you not coming down. See it? So we're in a serious political dilemma. We got to educate our people. And the problem, somebody wrote somewhere today, they say the problem with Liberia is the president. Our presidents, not only church we are. The problem with Liberia is our leaders, because they're not setting any good example. They're not doing the things that they're supposed to do to make the country to change. How long does it take to change people? Simple.
Yeah. So if you go by the political language and be honest with the political language, that look, people die easily in Liberia for malaria and typhoid, and then if we focus on health and education, those two, all the things we're talking about, the rules and all that, it will come naturally because now people can see logic, right? Because
Your
Rwanda
voters,
said,
listen
yeah,
to me. You go ahead. Your voters,
yeah.
I just told you, your voters are now willing to listen to that language. That changed thing. No, the first thing they will tell you about people can, even in America, where people can die there. So the typical Liberian man, once he walking, he fall down here, he think he well. Until he fall down, oh, the man can fall down in fact of witchcraft. When he fall down, he say the wishing man, the power drink so well. Oh, look at the wishing. So they're not even thinking about, there's no future for them. They're not thinking about that. So they want to get something right there, and then they can vote for you. And because that's why you have made them to know. That's what I'm saying. So even you can bring the plan, you lay down the plan, you explain it to them. My friend, you take this step here, you do the one here, and when you do the one, then it will lead to the one. That means wasting that matter. The man want you to gain something right away, he vote for you, you go. Simple. That's what they have been trained to do.
So they've been trained to say their own birthright. So that's the political language. I hope Mr. Comey take advice from you now and be speaking a political language too, maybe.
No,
Sometimes
that is not Mr. Cummings'
exactly.
nature.
So that's what I'm
Let me tell
saying.
you.
So
Let me tell
yeah,
you, change can happen. Paul, change can
right.
happen. And because you are finding it difficult to fix new thing, and you know you can fix this thing, but it's giving you when we started this show, what happened? My internet was acting or it was doing all kinds of things. So I wouldn't say, okay, saying they're giving me hard time, me get leave it. No, I had to do all kind of things, unplug it, reboot, and at least it's much better. So same Mr. Cummings knows that he actually knows the idea that he has can change Liberia. He doesn't have to go follow the normal unless he just want to be president. But if, like he said, he doesn't want to be president because he wants to be president, he wants to bring change. That would be a landmark history that will live after him. It will take long. You see,
so that means those that support Mr. Cummings can speak the political language on his behalf? Is that because sometimes the political language is speaking factual?
That would be damaging. You know,
No,
for me,
what I mean is speaking factual. The fact is maybe the way he say it, or the way he a slow talker, maybe when you put the political language in it, that just be aggressive in a political talk, maybe that will help.
No, but you don't have to be very loud, very outspoken to convey a normal Liberian political language to the. See, I Joe Waga can talk. When I over talk, if you hear him talking on the radio, you won't see a face, or even when you see him talking on the internet, you see he looks sorrowful. You know that cat, he looks sorrowful. He say, "Hey, I'll feel sorry for the old man." So you see, you gotta be loud, but he can make a message. Our program is arts.
But he lies. So, I mean,
yeah. So
you know that he lies. So that's a political language. So
yeah, but the real political language right there that I'm talking about is the lies. The lies that they tell the people. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether they shout the lies or they say in secret. It's the lies.
So let's look at the comments from the viewers here. And we ask our viewers, this is the new bottom line page. Can you share our link and take the new like button so when it comes on, you can follow us? Yeah, you want to look at the comments, Linford?
Okay, yeah. Of course, when we were talking about the November 12th thing, my calculation was fast, so I was thinking it was 32. But Mr. Oliver said it's 37 years exactly today, and I believe we have some very young people here who I don't know, probably Orita Meno would have been just as young as she could be, and my own sister Dolly Nelson could have also be as young as she could be. But I mean, probably they saw it. But I was in that November 12th thing. And I remember I was living, we were on a show and we got to be educating people. I was living on the old road at the time when this thing happened. And all the guys, I was living in the house, in the Pastor people's house. And the guys, they heard this thing in the morning on the radio. Then they all got into my door. My man, they said, your man, I can't. I said, who? Say, Kumokwa. And I said, well, we're going to Kumokwa. The man said, my man, say, Kumokwa, I can't. So we got up and we listened to the whole thing. Then around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, my cousin, were not living too far from me, the guy and two of a friend were full. We walked from Olo. That far time right there, we went all the way to the barrier. We were there when we were arresting those people. 1983, I started teaching in the barrier. I was teaching the Moses Wright's sister. The girl, and was sent her to the house. So when the parish, she saw me. She said, "Mama, so your people then I take over." I said, "Remember, Esther, what you talking so? That I get safe us." She said, "Your girlfriend, your go." Now when they teaching, she said, "Your girlfriend, your go." Now we left. But I didn't know, probably I thought they were driving us. So we left. When we reached Opuso Kuala, my daughter was born September, October, November. My daughter was like 2.5 months. So I told my cousin, I said, "Mama, I want to see my baby." I had to let my baby was living right between Ken Johnson Road, or let's say Perry Street. I went there, I remain right there. The girl people, because my daughter man like yo. Mama, when people making some kind of GB, they dancing, they know what going on. To cut long story short, I stayed there. Then the national anthem play. Went to talk. And my family, my baby, my all of them living way old. So I said, I can stay here. My other baby, I said, I can stay here. I go in. Then I started running. I ran. When I reached the FE, my man, the FE, not even ends, you could see. You would not know that just across that tarmac, it was like 100 kilometers for me because the play clear. My heart telling me when you get, they'll shoot you. I managed to go. So that's how it happened. And so that was very, very historic. And a lot of people got caught up in the street. So it's 37 years old today. Thank you, Oliver. And let's see what Orito say. Hello, family. Yeah, hello. And that we're gonna say the regime is so immorally corrupt. That it is incapable
that was the rules
to distinguish what lies is. You see, so yeah, when you are corrupt, you not even know that you can't identify corruption because it's part of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. when you say that the southeastern region got that super highway, and your own southeastern region brother say he likes your sarcasm, you know. so and then the next one here, it has to do with Sis Dolly Nelson. She talks about the education and good health development that develop all of the developed countries in the world. And since I'm telling you, because when you are educated, you will be able to train more doctors to do what? To provide healthcare for your people. Once the people are educated and they can provide more healthcare for their people, then they will be able to plant food. Then agriculture comes in. Then they will be able to build roads. But you got educated people who will build a road, or you're just going to start brushing the road and people say no. And then so the next one, PJ, I know what Kesari Kamara, I know what you mean by PJ.
That PJ is my name, Paul Jr.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Donald Nelson also says, "What? Are you serious? Do I look like a child to you, Lincoln?" Oh no, I'm not saying you're a child. I said we all are young. I said you are young, but you're not even old at time too. So I can back that one. We talking about 37 years ago. So we're all young that time. So let me see. I'm a grandmother of 2. Oh, don't bring our grandmother business. We get plenty. Yeah, but you know, so this thing happened 37 years ago, and a number of people lost their lives, and sadly, so this is where some of the problems that led to the war started. And you know, when these things happen on a special day like this, that the government of Liberia cannot even send out condolences to the bereaved, people who lost their families and stuff like that. But again, they say we should.
Wait a minute. You see, we celebrated Victory Day, and people go to the tomb and put flower to remember the people who fought, people who died. Liberia went through all of this. The 1979, the 80s led to the 14-year Civil War. Isn't it about time that they have a particular day called a Memorial Day that people can reflect and remember the people that passed? You see, like what you're talking about now.
That should be even America has Memorial Day, and that should be something that the government should consider and pass into law. But again, we have a semblance of what they call Memorial Day, right? I think March, the second Wednesday in March, what they call Decoration Day, where we go to pay homage to our beloved ones that have departed. So I don't know, probably they feel that.
But I mean, that one, it been that time immemorial that your dad, your grandparents, but this one where group of people just die unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. If you have a memorial day, I think, in my opinion,
you are right. You are right, Paul. But could we look at Mr. Cummings' visit to Nima County now?
Yes, let's talk something interesting happening in Nima, and Mr. Cummings now, and I think since that court case, everyone now is talking about Mr. Cummings. He visited a church this morning, and it's those Methodist women have a church. I think they go to worship on a Saturday, and they have some occasion today. He made a brief stop at that Memorial Day, right? I mean, on the Methodist church thing they were having. After he spoke, one of the little girl also said, "It's good that we see you in person. We've been seeing your picture on TV, your picture on magazine and newspaper, but it's good to see the person." And you know that it's good to see you. That thing is a message that we have seen this person that they talk about every day on radio. So they say seeing is believing, right? And then seeing somebody and he went around hawking those ladies, shaking their hand, all those things. I think he making a serious mark in Nima County. So I don't know where you take on, and he visited those people that died in the river too. So you can talk about, I think, that your own town.
I will tell you, before I talk about Mr. Cummings' visit, I will tell you something. And this have to do, though people will not accept this thing, the reality of this thing. But you see, while you heard some of the songs that people sang during Taylor's Day, "You came mama, you came papa, I will fall for you." The reason were multiple. But one, I lived across the land from July when the war entered all the way until the war was over in Memorial. I lived across the land. "You came apart, you came mama, I will fall for you." The Liberian people, even as much as we think they are stupid, they are not stupid. Now, during Taylor regime, the entire country was affected. But who were these people looking at every day? They were looking at the red-faced man called Taylor. He forces finished passing through the village. They kill the people, chicken, and they people, they kill people, yeah, the people then grave. But Taylor was still relating to these people. And so the people say, "Yeah, that man, that ain't the one brother war, but he let no person can see coming. Well, all the other people that we hear about, we can't see them. Now, so if you hear some of the people were singing that song, yeah, it may sound stupid, but not that. During the campaign, 1997, I was reporting on one of the campaign teams. We have part of Nima, Magui, and Rivers. So I traveled to those three counties. Okay, with the campaign team, I was assigned to them. And everywhere we went, when we went to Nima nobody needed to introduce Taylor. When we went to Magui, nobody needed to introduce Taylor because those were the high points. But when we went to Rivers, okay, the legitimate, and some of I don't speak all the Basel, but I understand everything almost. And I could hear the old people. I'm a Gaza, meaning that the red man, yeah, that the red man will vote for. Because the only person that people knew. While all the other politicians were in Monrovia, and Taylor forces had come and killed all these people in the villages, but Taylor was still there. The point I'm trying to make is that the people want to see who they're dealing with. Hearing your name is one thing, and seeing you, okay? Some people will say there was no man called Jesus Christ, but when they see him, they'll believe him. So, Mr. Cummings starting a tour of the country, and he went to Nima County. I think for me, that's very important. Another person who is making trips, but people not realizing is Taiwan Gonglo. I was somewhere today and I found a list of counties, or towns that Taiwan have visited in Nima County, the entire Nima County. He have visited 100 towns in Nima County, some of those towns where I have been. The very time where Mr. Cummings is in today, I have a list here. Okay? So Taiwan is working. He's working silently in the bush, and the bush is where the photos are. And let me tell you one thing. All the political noise we say will make him Morovia. We the civilized people will make it all in noise. The country may not think about that. The country may say, I'm going to vote for Paul. Everybody in that village. Because in fact, when the town chief say I'm going to vote for Paul, all the people in that village, who Paul, yeah, okay, we'll go. Whether they know Paul or not, but at least send the chief say you're going to vote for Paul, they'll go. And this is where Taylor won on the election landslide. Okay, so Mr. Cummings, I think strategically he should include people from the lead war counties on his team. Not all these bold people that go and stay and talk big people. No, let me tell you, right now, if I could take care of some things, that I have to fulfill here in Norway for at least 3 months, I will be on the ground. I'm well versed with 2 counties, Bong and Nima County. Margibi, partly, I worked in Habel for complete 2 years on the radio, and I've visited places. I know places in Habel. I know places in Kakata. I know places around the Boma area, the warm belt, like I told you, I on a camping trail. Okay? During the war, when we were running away from Habel, I walked through the bush and passed through Margibi to Basel and then to Bong, all the way to Banga, walking the bush 3 days. So I know those places. Those are places that are populated. They got people. Okay? You got to reach there. You got to reach out to the people. That's the thing we sit down doing, talking on internet. How many people? And the small voting population in Montreal, all the parties were divided. So what happens? You who go in the villages, that you the people will know. Like I said, the countrymen, once the town chief say, I know Paul, that Paul I'm going to vote for, all the people will fall in line. Some of the people, they got 2, 3, 4, 5 wives with a lot of children. So if the father is going to vote for one man, everybody will go in there. Okay? And you can't compare that number to what we get in Montreal. So I'm telling you, if someone all had the opportunity, okay, to take care of some issues, I can sacrifice.
But so Linford, isn't that why he created a Team Cummings to help in that process?
Let me tell you, the Team Cummings, the construction of the Team Cummings politically, it sounds good. It's good. And I will say the fact, it's good. But that Team Cummings, where are they based? Where are most of them based from? Montreal. Eh? No. Let me tell you, I'm talking about team on the ground. I'm talking about team that the people can relate to. People who know areas where they can relate to the people. You go in the villages and talk to people. My father come from, both my parents come from one country, right? But my father comes from heavily on the Mano side, okay, which is close to Nima County. Then my mother comes from the Pele side, which is also close to the Basel belt. This is
but the Team Cummings not only from Morovia area. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh, listen, Paul. I'm just making suggestion that that if Mr. Cummings will make mark, you have to pay attention heavily. You heard that particular statement the woman made?
Yes, she said.
Tell me, so if Mr. Cummings had not gone to that particular program, people they will hear one man called Cummings, but they not see him. And I am telling you from my experience, the 1990 or 1997 election, the people, when they know you, they know you. To change the countryman mind, my friend, you got to employ different tactics. It's not easy, I'm telling you. So Mr. Cummings needs to deal with grassroots people. He ain't got to face all the villages. No, it's not impossible. Because some of the distances I'm talking about, my men, are 2-3 days walking. But look for strategic people. People who are connected to those people. Some of them live right there in Montreal. Okay? Man, you put me on the ground in Liberia now. I'll tell people I just need 2 things. I need my sleeping. If I ain't got to sleep, any village I reach, I know how to manage it. Okay, but I need my pills, then my malaria talent, all that thing. On the ground, I get my rain boost and few speakers.
I mean, you are born in Liberia. We need malaria pills. Many your sister now immune to the situation over there.
Well, they get some new mosquito that came.
Okay.
The echo mosquito is different. So
No,
you see,
but
but the point we're making is that Mr. Cummings should work very hard on the ground in the interior. My friend, the vote-rich areas are in the interior, and the reason is that if you capture one village, my man, your name capture that village, you are nobody dividing it. That's the point I'm making. Unless Memorial, where Mr. Cummings will go to Douala, the few group of people can, or in fact, the same group of people can, hey, hey, hey. Then Mr. Cummings lead them, can, hey, hey, hey. The same group, they just go and change their clothes. In fact, when they don't even change their clothes, they will come. So, but if you capture the people in one village, my friend, they are for you. I'm telling you something that I saw with my own eye. Our own campaign trail for complete 3 months.
So this is so here we go, and people are asking the Butterland should sponsor your trip for this to get Mr. Cummings in the hot seat. So we can pull a cash up and ask our viewer, we can sponsor Linfa to capture those 3 counties on behalf of Mr. Cummings. Wait, you see?
I will do it. I will do it. No, listen. Let me tell you.
So this is your Nima County.
I had a whole clan. I had a clan, the Gwe clan. We are big. The first time I got to know that we are big was when my father passed away. I went there and then we had a week. Then I thought, because I didn't know the other brothers and sisters who I knew when I came, but they are born and they are born and they are born and they are born. And all of them, they got their wives. And these are men, people, well to do with guys. I'm talking about my brother, my little brothers. I am the head for that group. So, that's why, you and myself have talked secretly behind camera, and I've told you some things that you know about how my position with this election thing and where I am. I'm like between the blade of the scissors, right? But I'm taking that risk to remain between the blade of the scissors. I think why I'm really
yeah. So you're doing it for a good cause.
Yeah, I'm sacrificing. And what I'm sacrificing is very important. But again, you got to stand up for something. So the point I'm making, actually, yeah, if I get on the ground, I'll start bouncing. But Mr. Cummings will have to work in the interior. Because just imagine that question I want is good that we saw you today. So if Mr. Cummings had not gone there, they've been hearing Mr. Cummings there about Mr. Cummings. Then Joe Boaga go there and they see Boaga. So who they know between the two? They hear about Cummings, but who they know? They saw Joe Boaga, so they know Joe Boaga. See, and the contract people they get, the people that when they make up their mind, see, some people will ask why I say that the country people can marry 2, 3, 4, 5 wives, and the women there, so now they can't force or whatever, because when they say we agree, you can't change it. They will agree, they'll be there, whether the husband treating them bad or wow, whether the women are fighting, but the fact that they're there. I'm speaking from experience. I had 3 mothers. Okay. So I know. Let's move on.
Yeah, so I mean, he's doing something in Nima County, and the way he's moving in Nima County, I think is a good thing, because Nima now will be one of those battleground for a lot of parties. So and Nima also have the number equal to Maserati. So he making his rounds over there, and I think it's a good thing that he meeting people. Team coming were also established in Nima. Yesterday, they had the young people that decided they brought 10,000 people already in 1 week. So they tend to double that number in the next week to come. So just tell you how he's moving fast in Nima County. I think it's a good thing. And that should happen in other counties too.
You mentioned the area where he went to sympathize with the people. I would say that's my home, because that town, Zamboi, is situated on the St. John River.
Right.
And then within Zamboi itself, there is this river that the people got drowned in. It's called Yard River, which is much smaller than the St. John River. So my town in Bon County and Zamboi in Nima County, the St. John River separates us. And before, according to the history, before the counties were even demarcated, they took all the towns along the river, several towns. They were not Bon County, they were not Nima County, so they could cross and make farm anywhere you want to go. Okay, and so my father's last wife comes from that town. When we grew up, our everything was in Zimbabwe. Football game, Zimbabwe. Girlfriend, Zimbabwe. Best friends, Zimbabwe. So children from them will cross and come to our area to go to school. Friday, all of them going to that town. And some people from our town too were going to school in their town. So it was like that. And this is how we intermingle. So I know the history of that town. That
Right.
we always make joke that 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 even women in that town can swim with baby on their back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm telling you, almost everybody in my town, in that town, knows how to swim because they are exposed to the water. They are a lot of them are fishermen, okay, and they do a lot of things that I can tell you, okay. But one of the best I will tell you is that they got medicine for fish boom or any boom that stronger you. People get the medicine that
Oh, wow.
they will just rub their hand. Yeah, I got it. I got half of it, not the whole thing. Just half. If I rub my hand, that medicine go, I'll do another one. I mean, that boom go, I'll do the other one. It ain't go, forget it. Then it will bring the real soul to do it. It will go by force. Because why? They live on the sea. I mean, on the water, so they know all about water. So I was very surprised when I heard that 8% got drowned in Zimbabwe, of all places. Now, there's a series of towns right there. Yila, Zimbabwe, Zamgola, going Ga, all the places that are on the water. So, but that Mr. Cummings went there, I think, and as one of the trip that I would have loved to be on.
So I want to show something here because it seems to me that Mr. Cummings' policy or his strategy here is surrounding a lot of people. You talk about the ladies. So look at this one here. That is the time you're talking about lympho.
Yeah.
Look at the surrounding here of these people. Majority are women.
And
you see?
And guess what? These women, they will follow their husbands. Their children will follow them. If they say we're going to vote for Paul, all of them will go.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. If you capture that man, you capture them.
So it'll be good for you to try then, so we can put you on the ANC campaign team. So because this is what we need, your expertise. You've been in the environment before. So I know there's a list out for people who volunteer to go. And Lennon Perkins have that list. He sent it to me not long ago. So if you want to, they got 60% on it, so they're looking for volunteers. So if you're waiting to be on that thing, I think they're looking at logistic and accommodation as well. So that's something you could consider. So
yeah, that can be discussed. That can be discussed. But
yeah. So
my thing here is that Mr. Cummings is making headways, and what he started, let him do it. No, when I saw the list today that I have visited 100 towns, yeah, it's enough. So you don't have to be there. And look at the short trip Mr. Cummings made. He has visited several places, and the people from those visits, I mean, the places that he visited, the people that came to see him. Some of them came from the surrounding towns too. Some people came, even if you don't mind, I'm telling you, if you don't mind, people came from across the water in my own town to come to that program when they heard Mr. Cummings was going there. It's just on 45 minutes walk. Okay. I remember when the old man Jimmy died, I was talking about when he died, they brought his body. I was also at the time working at the radio station, and the people said, "Oh, my man, but send him man die from your town, you'll go." Taylor went there, with Taylor. And with my own town people. And then the people from Zimbabwe saw that this is the little lympho that used to be around walking with Taylor and out there. You will not know how proud I was. That I was showing Mr. Taylor people. I said, "Well, this is so poison." You know, people said, "Oh, so he really talking to the man." So I mean, the point I'm making is that if you come from the area, your presence can make a difference. Because the people will have that confidence that this is our own. Let's move ahead, Paul.
Okay. Yeah, so that's right, Lympho, and I like what you said. So, well, we've been here for a little while now, and we just ask our viewer to kind of share this. This is our new platform. With the old platform, for some reason, our technical problem was not connecting, so we created this one. Yeah. So what's happening to Liberia? Yesterday, it was a national holiday. A proclamation was declared by the president, who out of the country for 7 weeks, and to start the census, to start counting people. People sat home yesterday. Businesses were disrupted. People sat home for the longest time. By 2 o'clock, people say, but these people are not coming, and people were hungry. They abide by the rules yesterday. No one showed up. Is this censor going to happen or not?
I came across somewhere on the internet today where they had some results from the various counties where they were telling people how many people live in Lima County, Bon County, and all this kind of thing. I don't know how they arrived at that, or was it just some guys that created something like that. But realistically, I want to believe that the census, even if it will take place, they have more work to do. Now, most of the enumerators that you want to send out, they got families back home. Let's say you recruit all of them from Monrovia, or you recruit some from the counties, and they will have to leave their domicile to go in all of the villages. They have to have food, they have to have transportation. Those that will work, but they have to have some incentives. So if you don't meet that vital requirement, how do you expect these people to go and work under exhaustional factors that will even impede the progress of the entire exercise? So the government have got to put in place workable solutions, and that all centers around money. I'm telling you, there is no way out. There is no trick. It all centers around money. Pay the boys their money, give them the necessary logistics and transportation and whatever they need, and let them go. Okay? Now, yesterday, you announced a holiday for a census, and then the people stay home. At least if it were the citizens that were leaving home and going, and then the enumerators were at home and they couldn't, they were going to their homes and they couldn't find them, it would be something else. But the enumerators themselves did not go. This time the citizens were willing, they stayed home, but nobody went to count them. So that tells you the failure on the part of the government in this process. And I think, I don't know whether it's deliberate that the government does not want to sponsor this thing the way they should, so that at the end of the day, there will be delay, there will be bottlenecks, there will be hurdles, so that it will be in a favor to do the traditional voting where you go, you start counting, and people will stuff ballot boxes. Probably, but I don't think this is something impossible as long as the funds are available. And the government is not directly funding this thing. From what I gathered from the interview with Tue on Spoon TV, okay, they are receiving money from the UNDP, okay, for this. So what is the delay? Why can't the enumerators and other people get the money that they need?
But the money is not there. They ate the money. They very put out the money they have. Let's just been eating the money. You see, the enumerators that you talk about, they've been demonstrating lately. So they've been eating the money.
Yeah, but to point out that there is a basket. There is a basket for the.
But that basket, their funds have been withdrawn from that basket. Time, the money been there since 2017.
Yeah, 2019.
They should have had the census 2018.
Oh, yeah. You're right, yeah.
So that money been there. So these guys you remember when these guys came to power, they said, this is our time. So any little amount they came across, they took it. Even they took the foreign nation money, they put how to write them and put that money back. So they've been eating the money. So now maybe a quarter with them. So they playing the delay. I want to ask that question, will the census go on?
Well, yeah, and they say it will go on, but when is the question? That's it.
So there will be another holiday again because the president declare another holiday again.
The good thing here is that the citizens are willing. So whether they declare holiday 4 times, once the funds are available, the people will stay home because the people are willing. Let me tell you, Liberian people are tired. Again, it comes back sometimes when we come down hard on the Liberian people that they don't know what they're doing there. No, our people are just patient, and coupled with that, we came from this war situation. So the people even become more patient. They reflect and say, no, we don't want to do anything again that will take us back. So let's just bear it. What we'll do now? You know, I like saying, my man, I know that good, but what you just forget it. Now all people going through. You see?
Right.
So the people are willing. If they can come back again and they get the funds and they're ready, good. The people will be willing.
Right. So you're right. So anyway, that's looking at the funds that you talk about, because the money issue in Liberia. Civil servant, the Ministry of Information, the main propaganda arm for the government, they are now protesting for their salary. They have not received salary for a long period of time. And guess what? Christmas just around the corner. So they started to protest. And
no, but I don't think they have not received their salary for a long time. What they are saying is that they are receiving their salary, but they're cutting it. They're not receiving what is
no. They had the harmonization already.
Yeah,
but they have not received.
They still cutting it. They still cutting.
They still cutting. And then they have a ghost list.
Yeah, but let me address that one quickly. You know what? They say Chinua Achebe in his book, he said when things fall apart, the center cannot hold. If you get watermelon, which is whole, and you split it. Once it's split, you try to pull it back together, it will always fall apart. Anything you do, things fall apart, the center will never ever hold. Great. Now, the information ministry should be the one propounding government policies. They should be the one defending government. They should be the one informing the citizens. Now, in this ministry, I listened to one of their employees, and this girl is very vocal, is very loud and good. Good. I mean, she speaks well. She said something yesterday that caught my mind. She said, when Louis Brown was at the ministry, I think she was just retrospecting. The ministry was like a sleeping giant. At least it was still alive and sleeping, right? So it could wake up anytime. But when Lecture Wu Rennie went there, or when Eugene Nabwe went there, she started with Eugene Nabwe. And then after Eugene, Lecture Wu Rennie, the ministry is dead. It's no more sleeping. He had left him asleep. So that means the ministry has become non-functional. It's not performing the duties. When was the last time when Eugene Franco was there, even though he's lousy sometimes, he used to have this regular Thursday press conferences to inform people, even though it was replete with lies and stuff like that, trying to defend the government. But since he left, when last you heard similar program like that, it's no more happening. So, but this is like a one-sided story, where the employees are saying that the current management has made the ministry to go low. But again, they say the management will always blame central government. So, and the worst thing about it is that the minister proper has never come out to say reasons why his ministry has become dormant. Whether he's not receiving the requisite funds from government to make his ministry functional, we don't know. Or whether it's he that have the problem that even though he's receiving funds from government, but he cannot perform. So it's just difficult to know. But the central point here is that the ministry has become dormant. The ministry is lifeless. There is no need to even have an information ministry. Now, recently, it was Eugene Nangwe, after the president left the country, it was Eugene Nangwe, who is former information minister and has been at the Maritime Bureau for more than I don't know how many years now. He was the one to come and begin to defend the travel of the president, to explain, and even some of what he said were pure lies, that he could not even tell the nation the budget that was planned for the president's travel, you see, and that's something that the information ministry should have been doing.
Yeah,
we all would know, we all come from Liberia, right? Normally, even as early as Ellington or Taylorstown, where we're not in Taylorstown, where we're not in normal government, okay? They will tell the people when the president is traveling, they will tell the people, the president's delegation, at least who are he traveling with, besides the security detail, but who he's traveling with, even down to the doctors, the physician, who will know. But nobody knows how many people the president travel with. And the finance ministry minister proper, when Eugene Nangwe could not review the budget of the travel, Then the finance minister comes and he says that his son, he was not in the country, but travel like that. When he comes, he can sign it. They can sign it on his behalf, and so he actually did sign it in abstention, but he didn't. He doesn't know the budget. So how will you sign something that you don't know as finance minister?
But isn't that part of the stealing, the eating the people money, and then they can't carry that function?
Of course. Why wouldn't you want to tell the people how much you spend on the president's trip? Okay,
Right.
so you're in limbo, and then the same finance minister gets mad that Yeke Koluwa will say the president carried 250 million. Why are you getting mad when you say you don't know the figure? So somebody who got idea of the figure comes and talk about it, then you get vexed. Why? I can kind of say the president can 1 billion because nobody you can't blame me about information I got.
There's a saying, they say H2 is Liberia. So on that note, because it's Liberia, I want to say, look, Tuesday, anything for Tuesday, Linfa, before we wrap up?
Yeah, Tuesday we said be following the developments in Liberia. We hope something new can happen, and we try to see if we can get a guest on the show, but we don't know yet because he or she we got 2 people that we eye. None of them have consented yet, so it's not easy to really get these people, especially the guests that we want to have from Liberia. They are difficult to get, and they got the tie of a lot of things. But we're making effort, so we hope that we can have some people here with us on Tuesday. But if not, we'll still be here again to give our own input and discuss the issues that matter with our viewers, and because it is because of the viewers that we're here. So we're going to be here.
So I think we should reach out to Larry Nyankwe again, because he's the one on the host committee. He's the chair of the committee on census, so he can give a clarity of what's going on, whether this is going to happen or it's not going to happen. If this does not happen, would that have any constitutional effect on the country? So we need Larry Nyankwe to come in and explain to us. So on that note, I would say, brother, it was a good show. And to our viewers also that have been with us, it's good that they keep following us. Please share our link to your member. So Linfa, before
I got a job on the show tonight.
Yeah.
I was nominated for a job. Well, it was good, and we want to say thank you for being there. Those of our viewers, we got a constant number of people that follow us. Madam Chadela, Brown Chilpe, Dada Dugon, Dolly Nelson, and a host of them. So without you, we cannot be here. And of course, we're all working together. You don't physically have to be here on this screen to make your contribution, but your being there give us courage. And other people that will go back on the show to watch it, they will see that you were there, and they'll see your comments, and that helps. And by the way, every time we leave the show, within the next 1 hour, there can be a lot of views, because some people at work, and right now while we are on, I think Spoon TV is on, a lot of live are on. So then we all divide the audience. So this is our audience, our fixed audience that we have. No matter what, they're not going to Spoon, they're not going to Prophet Key, they're not going to no other place. They're here with us. So we really, really much appreciate you guys.
Yeah, so before we go, there's something, just the new music about this woman. I want our audience to just bear with us to listen to this frustration that happened to a lot of Liberians on the ground.
And we never see that wall. Let the government see to it that they put right outside. The government say rest of the port. We talking here, we talking street talk. Let the government see to it that they put right outside. This is not no street talk. It is real that there is no. And we never see that wall. We talking street talk. And we never see that wall. It is real that there is no. And we never see that wall. We talking street talk. And we never see that wall. It is real that there is no. The government say rest
So that's I mean the frustration in those people, man. It just tells you that they are frustrated. I think this about time that will have change in Liberia. So
And
live for before.
if you go back and do your careful search, you will know, you might find out that that woman supported Georgia.
She did.
Mhm.
She did.
Yeah.
And
And
they are
it's not a
frustrated.
crime. It's not a crime if she did support him during the election, because she wanted to exercise her right to vote, and she voted, but she can't decide what the person she voted for would do. So we don't blame them.
Yeah. So on that note, let's say goodbye to everybody, and we'll leave you with the number one hit, Mr. Eugene Fagon. Bye, everyone.
I cannot get me for late here to drive for the 7,000 car. Now what's what camping for? That's stupid. That is what camping for your steps on to wash a car. We're shopping 350 US. That is what camping. That is what camping for you feel like to eat lobster and he's showing the baby chicken and driving at the 8,000 car. That is what camping. That is what camping for Janako to be controller general. Why were that this is boss? That is what camping. That is what camping for Bessie Yeke to be head of place. Why were that one of the people want to NASCAR? That is what camping. That is what camping for Ella Castro to be the head of NAFA. While husband is a consultant to Marita. That is what camping. Oh, that is what camping for family investing. I'm going to detail. That's stupid. That is what camping. Oh, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid. That's stupid.